after church we picked one. No, we did not yet.
Early impressions, I guess. I know it's one day. Can't tell a whole lot from one day, I don't guess.
Of the quarterbacks?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think not just KT and Tommy, but Garrett, Jalen, and even Logan had their moments today. So, I mean, it was one practice in helmets and shirts, and installed about 4 or 5 passes. So they all had their moments today. So we're just excited to see how the competition plays out.
How good was it just to get back out there today?
No, it was great. I mean, you kind of have that time off at the end of the season. There's only so many little league games you can go to until it's time to get back out on the field. And I think Coach Corey and his staff did a real nice job with the strength and conditioning program. It was apparent the guys came back in great shape. We went over the testing numbers from the summer, and then just seeing the guys running around bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic, more explosive. That was an incredible positive.
Any notes specifically that stood out from weight room numbers or anything like that?
And there was a bunch. We gave out our Iron Dog Awards, which is the top summer conditioning performer at each position. I don't have that in front of me, but it was a good list, and the guys who won it deserved it.
You all still expecting Kareem Walker to get here eventually?
Yeah, he'll be here. Yes, he's finishing up a few administrative items academically, and it should be very, very early next week.
Give a little clarification on Corliss Waitman's situation.
Yeah, Corliss had his. We found out yesterday his waiver for his 6-year eligibility was denied through the NCAA. So right now he's not with us. He's meeting with his family right now and exploring some options. And as more information becomes available with that, we'll let you all know.
Was that waiver going back to his freshman year when he got the knee injury?
I'm not going to get into the timeline part of it, but once we it gets finalized, then we can talk a little bit more about it.
Is there an appeals process at all for that?
Yes, sir.
How quickly do you expect Kingani to be out there with you?
It all depends. He's had a couple different things, upper body and lower body, that he's got fixed, and working to get healed up. So hopefully at some point this season. If not, he's a great redshirt candidate. But he's a guy, when you look at him physically, he just had some things that were he had in high school he had to get fixed.
You mentioned injuries and Garrett coming off that shoulder. How do you feel like he's at? Is he good to go?
No, he was fine. There were no lingering effects. He was one of the top performers from a strength conditioning and testing standpoint. But yeah, he went out and he was ripping it today, so it was good.
Going back to the quarterback situation, we saw Keaton running with the ones. Is that indication that he's ahead right now, or is that just it being day one and he's been here for a while?
No, it's probably indicative of the drill that you saw. So, the way we have it set up is those guys switch essentially every period. So the way we do our reps, it's 4-3-2, 3-2-1, ones, twos, and threes. So whoever starts with the ones in the first roll, they get the twos the second roll. So essentially they're getting an even number of reps with the ones and the twos every period, and then consequently through the course of practice.
When we had that clinic with you, you said that you thought Tommy would have 85 to 90% of the verbiage down on first day of practice. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, let's see. What we had run there and what we continue to run now, it's 100%. There's some things that we did in our off-season studies and some things that we added that no one really knew, so it would have been not just new to him, but new to everybody. But we changed some words of the play, so the concepts he would understand that they were saying. There's some, like I said, some verbiage we changed, but yeah, it was not like trying to teach it to a new freshman. It was like a guy that's been in the system for 4 years or 3 years.
Tommy got to go to the Manning Passing Academy over the summer.
Yeah.
Have you had quarterbacks go to that, or did he say anything about his experience there or anything like that?
I think Trace went, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he said I actually saw Archie and Peyton at the Neshoba County Fair. They got a cabin there, which was pretty cool. Got to meet Peyton Manning, which was nice. But yeah, they were singing his praises. Said he did a great job. I think Jim Nagy, the guy from the Senior Bowl, I saw him at media days, and he thought he did well. With the kind of the best guys in the country down there. So more than anything, it's just a good experience for him.
Now that you've had an opportunity with your new hires to kind of work for a little while, how do you feel like guys are acclimating to the system?
I feel great about the new staff and the new hires and the guys. It's to them, it's important to beat Mississippi State, and they were all on the initial list, and year one decided to go a different direction, but obviously Coach Hughes, not just a great coach and a great recruiter, but a great person, and being at Mississippi State and in Mississippi is incredibly important to him. Terry I've won a conference championship with. Michael Johnson is coordinated in the NFL and in college, so he's doing a great job with the receivers. Obviously, Deke from Meridian, Chris Marv, all SEC performer, a bunch of experience in the SEC, and I'm excited because they're where their feet are, and it's like I said, important for them to beat Mississippi State, and understand what a wonderful opportunity is here for them.
You talked in the offseason a lot about Chauncey was a guy that got mentioned. Was
Yeah.
the guy sliding into a bigger role? What did his weight room numbers look like, and what's maybe different about him?
They were real good. I think he changed his body composition. Maybe he didn't add more weight, but got a little more defined. But Chauncey's always been a guy that could lift, that could squat, that can run and jump, and I think he kind of added to that this summer. And I don't want to say he was situational last year because that's not accurate. He was a rotational player, but between he and Fletcher and Kobe and Marquise, I think that's 4 guys right there that are it's not like a 1 and a 2. You're talking 1 A's and 1 B's.
Is Corey Charles a receiver now?
Corey Charles?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. There's only 116 on the roster, and there was a 16 working with the receivers.
Vincent Taylor.
Vincent Taylor got his number switched.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a late ad.
Okay.
Coach, can I have 16? It was available. So that was after print bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was after rosters went to print. Okay. Sorry about that.
Any other number changes?
Yeah.
This might be a weird question, but you were talking about verbiage and, Tommy getting it down and everything.
Yeah.
Is that, like, when you're coming up with the verbiage for your system or any system, is that really complicated? Are you trying to hide it like baseball signs, or is it just something really logical and simple? Are there like 80 different languages or just 3 different ones? Or, like, what's that like?
Specific to us or across the country?
Well, first, I guess, specific to you, like, how do you go about it? And then do you try to pick up other people's, like, what they're trying to call and stuff like that? Is it, like, what's that like?
Well, I think during the course of the game, the way that we, is we have multiple people who signal the tempo, multiple people who signal the formation, and multiple people who signal the play, and then someone's live and someone's dummy, and we change that up during the course of the game. Now, in terms of the words and what we use at the line of scrimmage, if someone's capable in the type of stadiums that we play in to hear the call, get it echoed back to their coaches, then find out what it is and get the good call back, then so be it.
Right.
But in all the years around the system, that has not been an issue, obviously, unless you get some coaches maybe to go somewhere else and you got to kind of change something maybe or tweak it. But with the, were you here for the clinic thing?
I was not.
Okay. Well, part of that is with the naming of our plays in the run game and the pass game, them starting with certain letters and then having things within the call kind of directionalize it. So I guess that part of it would be unique to us. So that initially in 2012 took a lot of time.
With Isaiah coming in from Kansas State, how quickly does he seem to be picking things up, and then just kind of where's he at?
He's a heck of an athlete. Obviously his body of work as a receiver and a returner in the Big 12 kind of speaks for itself. But not just Isaiah, but one of the things I was most encouraged by today is how the sense of urgency and the execution has been increased because of the enhanced competition at every position. So you kind of go across the board at the different spots where there's battles going on. Guys want to get on the field. They kind of look behind them and say, "Hey, we're in front of them," and say, "It's I gotta be on top of my game throughout the course of practice if I want the opportunity to play." So I think with his situation and receiver and others across the board, that's one of the most positive things I saw today. That the increased level of competition was increasing everyone's sense of urgency and desire to perform at a high level.
Is there a little more of that this year as opposed to last year at this time?
I'd say they're less incumbents this year. I guess that's one way to put it. So I guess if that's a yes, then yes. But I don't want to say there's never competition because depth charts are written in pencil, not pen. But I don't want to say open spots either because that's not accurate. But I guess what I said, there's less returning stars at the prominent positions. I say prominent at certain key positions.
You mentioned assistant coaches, Coach Marv, obviously,
Yeah.
SEC experience. Have you seen him interacting with the linebackers and what's he brought to the table?
Yeah, his motor's nice. I can see why he was an all-SEC football player because he coaches like he plays, and very passionate, very knowledgeable, great communicator with the kids, does a good job motivating them, and, you know, I think, well, not for nothing, I think the guy's a future coordinator and head coach down the line, but he's doing a great job with the linebackers so far.